Hello everyone, it's Jessica here and I'm back with another scrapbook process video for you. And today I'm going to be doing a lovely mixed media layout demonstrating how I lifted this scrap layout in the Scrap Squad Facebook group. And I'm going to start by just applying some clear gesso to my blue textured Bazzil cardstock that I have here. And I'm not being super particular in covering the entire sheet because I'm not going to be putting mixed media on the entire sheet. So I just want to basically be creating a little bit of a barrier for all of that mixed media so it doesn't warp my paper so bad. I'm going to go ahead and just map my photos in some smooth white cardstock, and I have two photos here that I'm using today. And I'm just going to mark them out with a pencil lightly so I know where to place my mixed media. I'm using a couple stencils here, a couple different ones that I've picked out. This one is a cloud stencil, which I will link down below for you. And the other one that I'm going to use is a Vicki Boutin one, which you'll see come up here. So because it is a couple pictures of a walk in the sunset of me and my two sons, I'm going to be focusing the top half on these lovely little clouds in this stencil. And I'm basically just kind of smooshing this texture paste around. This is just an opaque matte texture paste. It's by Ranger. And it dries kind of like a opaque, like a white color. So pretty much what you see right now is how it dries in the end. But I'm going to place this down through the stencils, and then I'm actually going to smush some mixed media and do some kissing technique on this with packaging, just with some distress inks that you see here, and give it like a really cool effect to this. So just finishing up, kind of filling in those little spaces with my stencil. And then I'm going to pull out my trusty box top here. It's nothing fancy, it's just what I use to kind of keep my mixed media mediums at bay, and so I don't make a mess on my area. I use this a lot whenever I do the sprays so that I don't overspray onto my project. So what I'm doing is I'm just stamping the ink pads down a little bit, a few times on that packaging. And then I'm adding some water to it, and I'm basically just smooshing that onto my paper. I'm kind of concentrating in the areas between where I've stenciled, and then I'm using my paintbrush with water just to blend those around and kind of get a little bit more movement to them and soften them a little bit. Because when you first put them down with the packaging, it is a bit harsh, and it kind of creates some like dribbles and blobs, so the paintbrush just helps you to be able to move it around a little bit and to have a little bit more control of it. I'm just drying that up with a paper towel on those blobs and little bits there where my photos are going to go. And then I'm going to go in with my next color. So the first one was Evergreen Bough, and then this next one, which I am loving on this blue, is Abandoned Coral. And these are the Holtz Distress Inks, which I'll link all this below for you. And I'm actually going to be using another color down below as well, which is going to be Spiced Marmalade. And I really love these two colors together. They really capture that kind of sunset effect that I was going for. And I'm doing the same thing here. I am just smushing this around, and then I'm going to move it around and continue playing with it here with some water and my paintbrush. I'm going to blend them together a little bit just to get a little bit more coloring and just kind of move it around to where I want it to go. I'm going to be placing some embellishments and things on top here, so I want it to kind of follow that shape that I've created. And then I'm just going to go in with the same colors and create lots of splotches and splatters just on the border and back up in the blue on the clouds as well. And I'm going to be taking my heat gun to it a little bit just to dry it up a little in between those colors. I want to add some more splatters here in the Oxide spray and the Evergreen Bough, so I want it to dry up quite a bit here so that my colors don't blend together so much. So I'm just trying to dry up all that excess. And here's the Evergreen Bough. This is the Oxide spray, and I like to use that for some additional splatters. The oxides, you can't really see through them. The inks are more opaque or transparent. I'm going to also go in with some Inklingz and the Shimmerz paint, and this one's called Meet Me at Sunset. It's like a really pretty yellowish color, just to give it a little bit more shimmer and shine. You can't really see it on the video here, but in the close-ups you can see it just adds a little bit more shimmer to it, and it's really pretty. So just drawing up my little blobs here. I'm going to pull in my photos, and I'm going to actually add some, people call it fun foam behind it. You can get this at the dollar store or anywhere that sells like kids crafts. I'm using my fine line red top glue to adhere that to my photo. Only one side of it is adhesive, so you still have to adhere the one side and then peel off the backing to stick it to your layout, or you can do it in reverse, whichever you prefer. So I'm just kind of popping up my photos with this because I want that to have a little bit of dimension on top of that mixed media. And just sticking my 2 photos down. My paper did warp a little bit still from the mixed media, but it'll flatten out in my book, so I don't really mind that too much. And I'm using the Sun-Kissed collection by Symbol Stories. That's where all my embellishments are going to be from for this layout. So I'm going to be sticking with that collection except for this one sticker right here, which is actually from the Pink Fresh Keeping It Real collection, because I saw this sticker and it says happiness is just sitting and enjoying the moment, and I thought that was perfect for this layout because it is literally them sitting in the stroller. Of course I'm pushing them because we're going for a walk, but for them it's a very relaxing time and they love just riding around in the stroller and going for walks and just being able to enjoy the fresh air. So it was just perfect for this layout. I'm going to be journaling here on this little tag. It says sunset walks are the best walks, because it really was. This is one of my favorite walks that we had. We were enjoying some playtime at my sister's house, and she lives just down the road within walking distance, so we ended up coming home pretty late whenever the sun was actually setting. So I'm just going to continue embellishing this to finish out the layout, and I'll pop some music in here for you. Thank you so much for watching, guys.